again, guys, we want to know where the money's at, right? And so the market is there for us to tap into. Basic strategies will allow us to get in and not having to, you know, go after somebody else for our money. We can go in the market with a snapshot. And so a couple of things we need to make this work. We need MetaTrader, which is a bit of software. So much you don't really, I wouldn't say it's the crucial thing to have on a mobile device, but definitely TradingView and obviously Close Option. Those are the softwares that we're going to be using to trade with. If you've got a desktop, you know, I'm going to show you on the MT4 version, also going to show you on the other version. And so, you know, if you haven't got links for those, let me know and I'll supply you those. So we're going to be reminding you guys, we're going to be looking at this pattern. This is the particular pattern that we're after in the market, right? We want this wedge pattern when the market basically lets us know when this forms, just like two plates coming together, and as a result of that, price is going to break out. So we're looking for this breakaway pattern, whether it's up, down, we don't care. Either which way, we want that that pattern to occur, but we want it to occur alongside what we call the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and we measure, we use it in a particular way. And so let's crack on and show you how we do that. So let me minimize that. I'm using the browser which I was speaking about one time before, and this browser is what's the name of it now? Vivaldi, right? It's called Vivaldi. I think it's named after an Italian artist. I like this in the fact that it allows you to do your normal browser might not be able to do. So if you're utilizing one screen, you haven't got two screens, this kind of lets you have a bit more flexibility. So I'm going to bring up my chart here. Now, if you haven't got a pro version of TradingView, you'll have to, you know, flick between different charts. If you're somebody who likes to see more than one chart shown on your screen at any one time, then this software allows you, this browser allows you to do it. It's got some really cool tools as well. You can all check it out at your own leisure. But it's got some great tools, just like some of the other tools I use. It lets you capture screens quite easily. If you're making notes, I can capture it to clipboard. Can capture a particular area to the clipboard. You know, I want to capture this screen here. I can just highlight it from here, and I can just, you see in here, I've got the little snapshot. So that's now on my clipboard. I can make notes and stuff like that on each window that I'm in. So it's got a lot of tools there, but I really want to show you from the point of view, if you're going to want to have a split screen, and let's say I'm looking at the euro dollar and I'm looking at dollar yen. Okay, remember in TradingView, you can have your different assets listed right here. Makes life easy for yourself. Expand this out a bit. Can see which ones, and I can either remove these, you know, I can flag them, I can change the colors or whatever, right? You know, I can just minimize them, get rid of them. Let me just get rid of gold and stuff like that, right? So you can do a lot of stuff. So what if I want to have a split screen? I want to see two of these assets, so I have to lean over my screen here. They've got an option here where I can split it that way, so I can have that. And what I've got is, again, if you're working with just one screen, you can even have your whether it's a real account or demo account, you can have that side by side. It makes life easier rather than switching back and forth. Or if you want to look at more than one chart, let's say I'm looking at the dollar yen, and let me just again split that. I'm going to split this one this way. So I've got dollar, okay, I've got dollar, euro dollar on that one. I've got dollar CAD on this one, right? So I can have it either split, so I can see two charts at the same time. So whichever way you want to do it, right? So just give you a bit more flexibility. And if you actually, I want to show it the other way. I'm going to show it this way. So if you want it showing, so they're both horizontal, you can have it like that as well, so you can again see your. So again, I'm just going to switch it back to normal for now, and so that I've got bigger screen to show you what's going on. So remember, guys, we're going to use the RSI at 8, and our settings, we go into settings and we do 75/25. So again, if you just got a mobile device, this is pretty cool to do it like this. Now, I don't know if you guys looked at what I shared last week, which was on MetaTrader 4. And with MetaTrader 4, we're going to look at how you can position that. I've been looking at something Anthony sent me as well, and I'll talk about that towards the end, because I think that adds a lot of value to the strategy. So I'm going to remove that indicator for now, and I'm going to go back to the alligator indicator. So this is, again, another graphical representation of exactly what you saw in TradingView. Now, what I like about what I'm doing inside of MetaTrader 4 is that these indicators, and the only indicator really focus on for another strategy. There's always more than one strategy when you're looking at this stuff. I don't want to show you how I look for trades, okay, with support and resistance. So you remember at week 1, and then I think I spoke about it again on week 2. I like to see price hitting support and resistance levels, okay? With this indicator, it automatically draws it in for me. Excuse me. It automatically draws it in for me, so I'm not second guessing. In fact, just having basically price. This is your price charts. Each candle represents 15 minutes. So each candle, once it hits a particular level in the market, and it hits it more than once, we want at least 2 or 3 hits. That makes it as more of a solid level of support in this case. And if it hits it more than once, again, it signifies again when price is trying to go up. Yeah, so price is trying to go down, it struggles, it bounces, goes down, and it bounces. Same way when price goes up, same kind of thing happens. Price goes up, like in this case here. Let me just show you on the crosshair, probably a bit cleaner. Goes up to this level, bounces, tries it again, and then bounces down. So it's hit this level previously in the past in order for these levels to be automatically drawn for us. So I do like that, but if you was just to do it randomly, you could just literally pick areas on the chart and then just literally start highlighting them where price hits, bounces, hits, bounces, hits. Don't need to be perfect. You could just hit those bodies, or where the wicks, these are what we call wicks, the long body of the candle. They're called wicks. So the body here was filled in. Remember, this long part is where one time in that 15-minute cycle, price was this high, and then the sellers really got involved and pushed the price down. So it was, at one point, it was like it was going to go up, then it came down heavily. This is always a good signal if you're looking for what we're doing, which is more reversal patterns, okay? So these are more reversal patterns that you're looking for when that happens. And you can see it's happened here, really long body here in the chart. Let's just bring up something on my chart while I look at that. So as you get more familiarized with what we're doing here, you're going to see these point out, and I'm going to see if I've got any what's it called, alerts between now and the time we finish up. Most important thing, guys, before if I do get an alert, I'm always gonna check my calendar. Okay, so let me post some of this stuff in the chat. Yeah, thanks Anthony for posting that there. This is what you want to have in the chat, on your chart. What's going on here? Did I hit return? So Forex Factory, I know they were doing an update yesterday. Let me try it again. I know they're doing some kind of update, but it doesn't look like it's working on this browser. I've put it on another browser because I checked it this morning. Actually, I checked them on my cell phone, so maybe there is an issue there. Let me just check it on this other browser. So there's lots of other calendars, but I do like Forex Factory, but I know they were doing an update. But let's just randomly check Forex market calendar. I think FX Street, which one, but as long as we've got one that shows us what's happening in the market, which is pretty accurate. So I'm get rid of that one. So this is why I like Forex Factory. I'm only really interested in high importance news, right? So I'm not interested in medium ones, low ones. I only want stuff that's high impact, that's going to move the market. And I knew today that the only one that was really high impact was at 8:30 today, which is 1:30 in the UK, so 8:30 a.m. for me. So that was about it. Nothing too major. There was something in the UK earlier. So that's it, guys. So I know for the rest of the day, I shouldn't be getting any random alerts, anything that's going to move my trade significantly. So always check the calendar before you start trading. So I just want to look at that chart pattern. So if we go for reversal chart patterns, MT4, or I put, this is Japanese candlesticks that we're working with. Okay, there's many different ways to trade, but I'm interested in those reversal patterns. So let's just have a look at this. Look at one that's just easy for us to look at right now. And so you'll see this pattern here. There's loads of different ones we can be looking for, but one of them which is really key is what we call the doji. Okay, this pattern is like a cross. They're very strong reversal patterns in the market. Okay, same way we have in this fashion here in the downward trend. You see where the body's really small and the wick is really long. That's the kind of stuff we want to be looking for. And I mentioned last week, we have this bullish engulfing candle, and so bullish, it basically means the candle covers the previous candle, so it covers it, engulfs it, and this is a candle that would be going down. It'd be a selling candle. But if you get a candle that's really strong bullish, and if you add this in combination to what we're doing, it makes for a really strong trade. All right, so all of these stuff is really really powerful reversal trend. So as you're getting more familiar with what we're doing, you'll start to see it. Again, we've got the other bearish engulfing where the market's going down. All right, we had an uptrend with this green candle, market changed. We had this bearish candle, engulfing candle, took over it and went down from there. Okay, so these are, you'll notice these more and more as you become more familiar with the type of trading, okay, that we're involved with. So let's go back to, and get rid of some of these tabs. Let's go back to our chart, get rid of that as well. I think it was on CAD dollar. So this is set for that. Let me just mark up this one as well. Again, on TradingView, remember, we're going to click on indicators. My favorite ones should always be there. Got a star. Otherwise, I'm just going to do a search for it, RSI. Okay, relative strength index. So we're going to add that. And on the free version of TradingView, you can have up to 3 indicators. So, you know, we're good. We don't need more than that. So I'm going to go to the RSI. I'm going to change the settings. I'm going to change it to 75. Oops. 75 and 25. All right, and then the input, I want to change that to 8. Okay, and then look what happens. We've got really sharp setups. So when these happen, and I don't forget an AI alert. So those alerts, I don't stare at my charts, but you could do, you know, when you're getting good at this stuff. Let's just look at euro dollar. Euro dollar, let's big this up a bit. Just big that up a bit. So euro dollar was showing, I mean, this is at 6:15 in the morning. I wouldn't be trading at this time in the morning. It's before the London Open, but again, it could be a valid setup. So if I got an alert that on my RSI was over 75, yeah, overbought situation, it's those peaks that we're looking for. Yeah. So this candle kind of gave me that indication that that was happening. And again, guys, I'm looking for my ideal setup. My ideal setup is when price hits my level of resistance. In this case, right, it'll be a level of resistance. So I would have to go on a higher time frame. Let me look at, say, on an hour, even on a 4 hour. Let me look on an hour time frame, and I would just randomly just start drawing out these points in the market. So something like this could be a good point. So let me just draw that. All right, I'm gonna draw these lines down a bit. Okay, so wherever price hits more than once, I don't care if it's up, I don't care if it's down. You know, at some point, support turns into resistance and vice versa. All right, so I want to look at stuff like that. I may even go to a higher time frame. If you look at if you're looking on the daily time frame, that's going to give you the best best points for you to draw. Okay, because again, you're not dealing with the smaller time frames, you're dealing with a much higher time frame to play with. So again, let me just randomly draw these. So I'm going to show you how you can do it randomly on TradingView, which you all have access to for free. All right, and then just draw one more, just for, because there's some good lines here of support. So again, support, resistance line, we don't care either which way. We just want to know that the price hit this more than once. So in a 4 hour, this is what my chart looks like. And imagine, I mean, this is on the daily, 4 hour. I thought I was going to look on the daily. And the daily is even more refined, okay? But this is good for now. But as you can see here, just on this example, how clean the chart is. Like, you know, you look at this 4 hour chart, the RSI goes out of range. This is a really strong move to the downside. You see the price now goes outside the 25 range and it hits this level of resistance, support, sorry. You see this move, it's a really strong move to the upside. So once you've got really strong lines of support and resistance, you're just, you know, like I was saying, like a detective, you're adding more to your case. You know, does this prove to be a good trade? Well, let's look. Is there a line of support? Yes. Has it broken our 25 line on RSI? Yes. And then the pattern reverses. But don't forget, so that's just on a bigger time frame. You can do this, of course, in binary trading as well as with forex trading. And I'll just I'll mix up the two towards the end, because these are some good opportunities, right? Where you see in the market you can actually tap into. So you saw I draw my line there, and it plays out really strongly, that line of resistance. When you drop it to a 15-minute, you know you've got a better chance of that price reversing. So let's look at our chart now. If I did get an alert, and obviously it wouldn't be at 6:15, let's say this was 8:15 or something like that, and I did get that alert, I would then look to draw my lines. So if I got the line around here, I would look to draw my line. And again, I'm looking to be at the point of, I'm looking to be at the bottom of these candles. All right. The more touches, the better. So I'm going to draw one line there. I'm going to draw a line on this. And then this is going to create my wedge pattern. And remember, guys, so for my type of trading, for my binary trading, I'm only waiting for this first candle to break. All right. So if I look at the time frame here, I might have got this initial alert at 6:15. I drew my candles, right? Price just hovered around that level. It broke up to this point. And remember, this is the point where I'm not expecting price to go above it. I'm expecting price to break down, because we're at this peak. Yeah, you're at the peak. We're waiting for the price to then change and do this. So I want that candle, the first candle, to break outside of it. You see what, if I was to make this a bit bigger, you see this candle here, right? Remember my reversal? This is like what we call a hammer. If I go to my reversal chart patterns, we've got one here, right? It's called This is the other direction. This is the hammer in a downward trend, right? This is what we've got here. We've got this or we've got that. So when we've got that pattern, the market's telling us there is resistance happening. Whoops, let me go back to this one. There's a lot of resistance before we had this real, but a line of resistance is here. And so the second candle, you wouldn't want to rush into this and say, okay, let me then boom, put a trade on. We want the market to tell us what's happening. So again, we're building our case study. Price has gone outside of, you know, on our RSIs told us we're in an overbought situation. So at some point, the sellers are going to really get in. And so we had a little situation here. It wouldn't, for me, it wasn't strong enough. I want price to hit a line of resistance. They're the best trades to take. You could take this and you might have made money. I'd rather stack the odds in my favor. If I see this pattern occur after it's hit this line of resistance here, I'm banking on this working out. And of course, not only did this happen, we had this really strong engulfing candle, really strong, like broke out big time. And so if I put an hour trade on now, guess what? I've made money. Yeah. I would go to my chart. And again, if you're not putting real money in, you can demo it. If you feel more confident, you know, you've done some trades or you've traded in the past and you want to put some real money. I always like to be honest, guys, personally, I like to put real money in. You know, it means something more, even if it's a quid, right? Dollar, it means, you know, you take it a bit more serious. If it's a demo account, you can put 10,000 on it. There's no emotion. You don't really even care. You probably don't even look at it if it made money or not. But if it's real, your money, you want to know that it's made money. All right. So have some skin in the game, as I say. So this is the euro dollar. I'm going to go back here. And again, what I like to do on each candle on inside of my options, my binary options platform is represented by a minute, not 15 like what we have inside there, right? So it's not going to be totally the same, exactly the same as what we have inside the chart, but this is the most important. My time frame here, I want that to make sure it's an hour. And I've done it in the past, guys, where I've gone on trades, I've marked it all up, and then I've gone straight here and I've not even changed it to the currency, and I've ended up putting a trade on. Sometimes it works out, you know, but you know, just do your double checking before you do a put or a call on a trade. So I'll go to euro dollar, and in fact, let me just split the screen. So this kind of makes life a bit easier for me going back and forth, right? So this is my euro dollar, and so you can see it looks real different on here to what I have on this side. Right, so let me just minimize this back to where it was. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this trade on, but this would have been the trade I would have put on at this point, as this big bearish candle breaks out of my range here, and I'd put an hour. That's 15, 30, 45 an hour. Would have won that all day long. How much would that have made me? 84% profit, okay, on one trade. So this is the reason why you want to just take the time to do this. Do one trade, you make 84%. You do another trade, that's winning. You know, ultimately you want to be making about 100. You know, if you can make 100, 150% return in a day, it's not. I'm not spending all day doing it. You know, then that's pretty darn good. So let me go back and show you the same example what I like on MetaTrader 4. Hopefully one of these days we will have a live alert. I can show you directly. Like I said, if I do get an alert later today, I mean, there's not too many news releases. I may have to change the day next week. Maybe do it on a day where there's a lot of news announcements and stuff, and let's just go nuts and get lots of trade alerts. So if I go and change this to euro dollar, so if you're on MetaTrader 4, you can just drag it drag and drop, or you can right click and click on add to chart window. I'm just going to keep it on that. And you can have this as a template. Yeah, if you like this strategy, you can just click on that, save the template, and so you don't have to keep doing this back and forth. So same thing, guys. I'm gonna utilize that same strategy. Now, the nice thing with my indicator, this indicator here, it's a pivot indicator. It does my markup for me. And so remember, I was talking about this line of resistance. Yeah, it's already done it for me. I don't need to mess with it. It might be at the same level, 1.1856. Let's just have a look. That was 18156, 18164. So almost the same level. It's actually more around here. Okay, so pretty much the same ballpark, right? So here we go. Same kind of deal, guys. We've got our alert came up, popped up here. So it's around this point. Again, I wouldn't be in actuality doing it at this point because it's way too early for me to be doing that. So I want to get whoops. Depending on your MetaTrader 4 browser, it may be slightly different on drawing wedges, but you know, it's a little art, a little bit of skill there required. Anyway, like I said, you don't have to be perfect. Okay, so if the alert came up here, this would actually may have. I mean, again, I wouldn't be taking a trade at 6:15 in the morning, in any case. But let's say this was later on in the day. We drew our wedge pattern. We got the alert here. I try and have as many touches. So I want many touches that take place inside this wedge pattern. Obviously when we're drawing these, we don't know the full story, right? I don't know that this is going to be the candle that's going to give me the ultimate breakaway, but I want to look for stuff that's going to be good for me to put on a trade. So this is the exact same move that I showed you previously, right? Price hit this level of resistance. It looks like it was even maybe trying to hit this level of resistance, which would have been again a nice level for you to mark up your chart. I've got this hammer pattern that's occurred. In fact, before that I had this doji pattern. So again, that could have been a smaller move where price broke out temporarily for an hour. But again, it's just got to meet all our criteria. So this one would have definitely worked. This one would have probably worked as well. Let me just move this and show you if you was to mark up this one. Okay, so again, if we did it dead on around this point, that probably wouldn't have worked out. It probably would not have worked out. I'm trying to draw as many touches to the baseline as I can of the base of these candles, right? And that's just like 2 touches. Probably wouldn't work for me. You want to have at least 3 to 4 touches, guys, on these candles. So, you know, something like this, if I can draw a line with something that touches a few more candles than just that one. So again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but three touches is probably be my minimum. Okay, 1, 2. This is the third one. Obviously, price broke out on this one, so again, was a nice strong move to the downside, and that signifies a good entry level for me to go into. All right, so look at that, which would have been a nice move. If you're trading forex on this, again, that would have been a nice probably pattern for you to enter in on. So if you're trading forex, that would have been about a 10 pip move, and so that could be a nice short move on that. So guys, I'm about 30-40 minutes in, and there's no alerts to my knowledge. Let me just check that. Let me check my phone. I do see them pop up on Telegram, but I've not seen anything. Let me just do a refresh. Like I said, today there's not a lot of alerts in the market. There was that thing with Canada, and again, it wasn't. The last alert I had was literally 2 hours ago, and yeah, there was a couple then. I don't even know they were good setups. So that's what we want to look for. Now, if you're going to be also utilizing the ability for you to trade Forex here, because something that Anthony posted last week, which got me looking at, was the alligator indicator. And I started to do a little research on it. And there's a certain setting that they recommended, which gave even better results than the default. A lot of times when you get the default on a lot of indicators, you know, they may be good for that particular setting, but then based on how you're trading, then they can be even more so. So I want to show you a strategy here, and again, yeah, I want to look at this and show you, if you're trading Forex, if you are a Forex trader, you traded and you learned Forex trading before, how this could be a really, really powerful addition to you, you know, waiting for binary setups. Okay, so binary setups may not be all there all the time, but the market moves all the time. There's maybe patterns that are really good for you to jump in on. So let's look at this one. I looked at this morning and I was like, holy moly, this is really powerful. So what these lines are, these three lines, the alligator is a moving average indicator, and moving averages are really powerful in terms of how you're looking to trade with the trend. So unlike what we do with binary, I don't really care so much about when I'm trading binary. Before I do that, when I trade binary, right, when I go in a trade like this, I don't really care if I'm trading with the trend or trading against the trend. All right. But this pattern happens to be a trend reversal, but because we're only doing it for a very short period of time, and these breakout patterns are ideal for binary options. If you're looking to maybe trade and get a bigger run at it, right? You want a move like this and make 30. I don't even know how many pips this is. You want to make let me just see. This is over 50 pips, guys. And some people don't make 50 in a week. This is one move that's made 50 pips. And what's made this kick off like this, I can tell you something actually, guys. 2 hours ago, yeah, 6:45 my time, which would have been 11:45 your time, I got an alert, and the alert was telling me to get into this trade. So let me just look at something. On your Forex broker, if you're using MetaTrader for trade markups, the server time, whoever you're with, there are going to be differences, right? Based on the broker and stuff like that, slight differences. But you can see my time here. My server time is 2 hours difference to London time. So my clock is always set to London time. So this is 4:15 now. And according to them, even though it's 2:15 in reality. So I got this alert more like close to 7 o'clock, which would have been about 9 o'clock on here. So if I just mark up where 9 o'clock was, and I got the alert, it was around here, right? I got this scenario, and it told me that there was this alert. So check this out. This was an actual trade I could have taken. Perfect markup. All right. So I think I'm gonna, let me just check something. Yeah. Right. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you exactly what, if you was getting these alerts yourself, you know, this is what you could have done. Remove this indicator for now. Just keep the chart a bit cleaner. And let me go back here. And say it would have been around, yeah, so it would have been around this time. I got the alert, of course, at that time, which was 6:45. I was in bed. If I was in London, I probably would have taken this and nailed this and made probably 70% on this trade. So let's just mark this up. The alert came in at this time. Let me just mark it exactly as I saw it. And again, once you start getting good at, once you start getting good at this, you can just do your own, you can just eyeball some of this stuff. This was the candle, or thereabouts, right? Prior to it was this one, right? Was that one. So on the yellow. So remember what I said, guys, resistance. I don't take a trade if it doesn't hit resistance, even if it's a perfect setup, because I just want to know these aren't, you know, these aren't, well, today it's very quiet. It's only, you know, a couple of setups, but normally I'm getting lots of alerts. And I realized on my PowerPoint, I think I showed the wrong one, because I was showing an old one, but the other PowerPoint I had shows you the kind of alerts, how many alerts I get in a day, and it's quite a lot. Anyway, so let me just mark that up. It's got about 3 hits. Okay, again, I don't care how perfect of a line that is. It's just about getting this pattern right. So let me get rid of my vertical line there. Whoops, got rid of that now. Draw this line in again. So you can see here, I just want to get a rough hit on the bottom of these, because this is what's going to happen. As we know, with this pattern, we're looking for breakouts to occur. Okay, so let me just mark that slightly up down there. If I can get the baseline on these, even better. All right. So I want to get 3 to 4. That's probably good enough. So I do like this move. Price broke out, and big strong bullish candle broke out. So again, if we did an hour trade, now this one actually may not have actually won us money. Check this out: 15, 30, 45 an hour. So what would have happened with this one? For the hour, look, it literally, it went back to resistance. So that would have been a losing trade. So if we put 50 bucks on that trade, would have lost on that trade. There's something that I which is more of an advanced strategy, and I you know, if you're new, you wouldn't want to do it, but if you've traded for a while, there's a thing called martingale. Martingale is like you do the same trade again, and once you get, you know, your probabilities of that, you put your stake a bit higher than the previous one. So if I put $50 and I lost that trade, my second trade may be slightly higher. Okay, so if that one lost my money, the probability of the next one being a loser can go down if it's a really good breakout pattern. So again, price is still respecting the resistance line. I would go in for another hour, and this would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have clearly won. So my second trade, again, this could count for your 3 trades a day or 4 trades a day. If the pattern is a fairly good one, and the RSI is still below, and it looks to you that this could still be, you know, this again becomes when you become a bit more experienced. But what I like about this, okay, candle, this candle, big strong bullish candle, resistance, and I'm just going in on the second trade, right? I don't know what's going to happen. My probability is that it's going to keep dropping a bit further, because you see, when after this second hour, I would have made my profit. But you see what happened thereafter. We had a strong bullish candle. When a candle breaks a line of resistance, okay, I don't mess with it. I'm like, okay, all right, you proved your point. This is one of those candles. For me, the move is over, right? And I would wait until a next level of resistance comes up. So if this third pattern, so I hope you guys are with me. Let me know if I'm going too fast or, you know, going too slow or whatever. But this would have been the first trade. I would have lost this trade because this candle just went just slightly above my entry level on this one, right? Well, just enough, right? So my second trade would have been this one, and I would have won it if I went straight in. Now, I don't need to do another trade straight after. I would not recommend, after winning trade, putting another trade on like that. Look for another alert elsewhere, a fresh alert. But if you're still looking at the New Zealand dollar, and it's done this move. It's broken above this line. What you can do is, you know, just get on with your day and set an alert. If price hits this line of resistance, this could be a good entry level. If everything marks up, right, this one close, you see the RSI is close to going over 75. It's not quite there yet. I would probably pass on this. But for those of you that just like, you know, you're a bit more risk averse and like, you know what, it's close enough for me, you might draw this. And guess what? You would have made another 70% trade, winning trade. You don't need to win every trade, guys. You just need to win at least 2 or 3 out of your day. And again, if you got 3 losing trades in a row, call it a day. You know, look, oh man, look at your strategy, and just, you know, always, again, I haven't not even spoke about this, but journal every trade you do. Look back at it. Don't just do it and then, oh, I won that trade and stuff. Just write notes next to it. Why did you take that trade? Why do you think that trade won? Why do you think that trade lost? The only way you're going to get better is by analyzing what you've done. So this one is a fantastic trade. You see it's run out of energy here. We've got a little doji, this cross. See a cross appears on a line of resistance, guys. Your probability of making money has just gone up. You know, it's as simple as that. The next candle, it's fantastic, right? There's nothing there. So this could be a good hour, like this trade here could be a good hour, 15, 30, 45 an hour. You would have made another profitable trade there. And again, we could keep rinsing and repeating it. Again, I would probably look at more of this one. Again, if I'm looking at the New Zealand dollar and it's made this move again, it's hit my line of resistance. Just keep an alert for these things that are happening. You could probably made 200% today just on one candle, right? Well, you would have lost the first one. Let's say you lost the first one, so you would have still would have made about 150%. If this marked out good, it hit the line of resistance, which I like. You see the sellers are pushing that price right down. It's come across the resistance line. They're pushing it down. And again, it's only 2 touches. I do like to see a bit more. But again, if you feel you're on a roll, you know, again, we don't like trade by feeling. We like trading by everything else that stacks up, right? But again, the fact that it's at this line of resistance, price is gonna, which it always does, right? It's gonna have a little retracement. Could be big, it could be small, and that's why we'd like to do for at least an hour for retracement, as long as it's lower down the level it came in. But again, for me, guys, it's just not enough touches. I want to see a good 3 touches, and then for the price to break below before I take it. But this one could work out if you're time challenged and stuff like that. All right, guys, let me wrap up the call. I want to show you what I was, talking about before. All right, so that could be your day done. Like that could be your week done if you made 150% return in a week. And you don't really need to necessarily trade. You know, again, Tuesdays to Thursdays are probably the best days to trade. Fridays can be good as well, but the markets are closing up, you know. But because we're trading binary, you know, we're just going in and out, so we can do this Monday to Friday, no big problem. But if you trade in Forex, this is something that, again, when Anthony mentioned it on the call last week, I thought, let me have a look at this. So I added this to, I don't want that. Is that the one I set up? Iris alligator. Yeah, all right, let me get rid of that. Don't need the bottom one. And let me go back to this. So I'm just going to show you exactly that move that Hi, Anthony. You say something?
What percentage of your money are you?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Your signal is really bad, but I can hear you. On my account, if you know, I trade maybe 10 on a binary. I now would trade up to 50% of my account on one trade. Don't recommend it when you're starting out. When you're starting out, trade about 10% of your account at the most. So if you've got £1,000 in the account, trade $100 at the most. Because if you have two losing trades, you just lost 20% of your account. You don't want to be in those numbers at this stage of the game. But when you get more of a feel of this and you're understanding it better, you can raise the stakes, especially if you want to build your bank quicker. But definitely don't trade more than 10% of your bank on a trade to start with. 5%, if you've got 100 quid, five quid a trade, 10 quid a trade on 100 quid account at the most. And then once you get more wins under your belt, your balance is going to increase automatically. So then that's the nice thing about what we're doing. We're building our bank. So the next time we do a trade, and end of the next week, instead of 100 quid on our bank, we've maybe starting with 120 quid. And so 10% of that, we're doing £12 trades, stuff like that. So you can, there's ways in which you can calculate that out and start to maximize it. So what I wanted to do was have a look at this indicator. Like I said, I've changed the settings from the default one, and this is what I read out: 26, 14, 6, and I left the other ones at default. So what it does, it gives a really nice edge to when you're trading. So I looked at this. Pattern here. So just to explain it, if you didn't see it last week, the dark blue one is really setting the direction of the trend. You may have heard the trend is your friend. Is with this, if you're forex trading, you want to trade with the trend, really, especially if you're a new trader. You could do well once you learn different techniques on reversal strategies, but make life easy for yourself. Less resistance, go with the trend, and you'll end up making moves or winning bigger trades for sure, and easier trades. So what you want to have is this green line over the purple over the blue. The blue is going to set the direction of the trend. And so just as I'm looking, as you see here, the blue represents candles going up. I want this to be going up in conjunction with it. The further away, there's two things here really important. The further away this becomes from these two lines are going to be quite close to each other, almost in parallel. But you want to have an angle, 45-degree angle. So, you want to have that pattern happening. All right. So if I just to draw this out on here, arrow, can I do it here? Arrow up. No, don't want that. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? I just want that pattern going. Objects. I did it last time. I can't remember what I chose. Insert. Here we go. Insert shapes. Arrows. Yeah, shapes. Let me just shape it. Triangle. Maybe a triangle. I like this area here, right? Is it drawing anything? Oh no. Okay. Not exactly what I want, but I like this area here. You see where this band expands. Can I move it? So guys, I messed up that drawing. I like this area here where price starts. You see the gap. This area here is my thing. So I like an even gap between this and this. When it's like this, I can't do nothing with it. When they're all together, this is actually where a point of where you want to take interest, because this is going to break away, all right, from these. So these run right parallel to each other, very close to price. This is our price, all right, and this is our directional. So what you could do if you're forex trading, there's different, there's a couple of things that you really have to do when you're forex trading. You have to have a line of support and a line of resistance, just like in binary. And what I use for what we call my stop loss in this scenario, what I would do, I would use this support line here to start off with. Okay, This is what protects your asset, your money in your account. And it's about 10 pips away from the action, about 10, 12 pips away, which is quite a small pip loss. You know, you don't want it too tight because you'll get stopped out. If you have to, you know, because you don't want to lose money, you'll end up losing money. You know, the moment you really want to protect your money and it's too tight, you're going to lose it because it's not giving the price enough chance to move in before it's made its move. So I would have a line here for my initial support if I was to place this trade. And the reason why I want to place this trade is because I like this coming together. So when they start breaking apart, this is my line of support, and this is where my stop loss will be. So stop loss will protect any money that's in my account. Let's say all the money in my account, I've got $1,000, all the thousands in there, and 10%. I'm trading this account, and maybe 5% of my account is going to be traded on this one trade. This is where I'm going to be making the money, guys. Right? Someone's calling. Don't call me now. Bad time. So this is where we're looking to make money, right? Oh my gosh, stop it. You think if I decline a call once, you'll get the idea that I don't want to take the call. So we've got this big move, right? Up, this up move. Seriously. Sorry guys, I'm gonna turn my phone on. Got to move up to the upside. And then as we know, this line here, our resistance line, price is going to sit on it. Okay, so it's exactly what happens. Price sits on this resistance line and it just sits there waiting. We've already made some profit up to this point, maybe 18 pips in profit. We're going to move our what's it called, our stop loss, and we're going to move it into a more break-even scenario. I personally like to move it to the next level. So I want to lock in that profit, and I want to keep it not too tight, keep it away from the action. I could even keep it in alignment with this, but you know, can keep it away from the action. And then the price moves. So what it does, it nicely sits in this area. It's kind of creates an envelope where price just hovers and it holds it. It holds the price. Okay, I'm not even thinking that this price right now is going to go negative. This is a move to the upside. I've got a really strong move here, and then, you know, as it happens, it moves up to the next level, sits there, retraces a bit, and then it goes up to the next level. You see, this is the line I was talking about. If I was going to mark this up for my chart earlier, there's just not enough here. It's now the price is actually moving in a direction. Everything on about this is telling me we're in a really strong uptrend on this trade, right? If it met our criteria for a binary options trade, great. But overall, guys, this is a really strong move to the upside. I'm just going to move and show you on the other way what happened, what I noticed, what happened. Again, price broke out resistance line. See my line here, price broke out resistance above here, but we were still in an uptrend. Okay, using this as my baseline, this blue line, I wouldn't place any trade to the downside until the cross happened, right? So this cross happened around well, it was yesterday. It happened at 6:30 on the 9th. No, it was 2 days ago, on Monday. This cross happened. I'm actually looking for an alert signal that will alert me when in fact I do have it. I do have it. I lie. I do have it. I do have an alert that tells me when one moving average crosses the other, and I think I'm going to start implementing it today. So check this out. This happens and I get this cross. Now what kicked this off for me was the fact that I made this scenario. First and foremost, guys, earlier in the day, my RSI was overbought. So I'm waiting, right? It took me maybe what, that was like 10:30. It took like most of the day, 8 hours before I actually got out. If I had an alert that I'm talking about, Oh, and I've just realized I'm over time, but I'll wrap this up. I was set an alert. I was set an alert right here to signify me when this happens, because we are now looking for money on a downtrend, nothing on an uptrend. Doesn't make sense. You're going to lose money by placing uptrends, up trades. What I mean, if I go to my what's it called? I'm going to do a I'm looking at right here. When I place a trade, I'm going to do a sell trade. Boom, and you can do it directly from within the platform, right? And then you can, do your markups, your resistance, and your stop loss and all that. So from here, again, it's just like what we showed you earlier. Price went all the way. This is like a 70. Well, it's probably short than that. You've got to take in consideration the spread. The broker is going to get paid. Yeah. Unlike with binary options, it's up, down, done. You up trade, you win, down trade, you win. With a broker, they need to make money on the trade you're making. And if you carry a trade overnight, there's a little fee, there's a swap fee and stuff. So you're going to have some fees anyway. So let's say that this ended up being like a 60 pip move. That can be again a very, very nice scenario to be in. So what I like about this whole strategy is this. All right, if I'm placing this trade, because the one thing getting in a trade is great. You're going to adjust. You'll be adjusting your level of stop. So you're banking profits all the way until price literally changes direction on you, and it does one of the something like this, and it moves and it comes, and you're clearly out the trade at this point. All right, and then all you're waiting for, you're just waiting, guys. If this breaks out and you're just waiting for this move to happen. Wait, what we had here. Now, ideally, I personally like when price is overbought. If for me to take this as a trade, I like it when I see this go below the 25. Signifies this is a good chance for the price to change, and then boom, it does. But there's many opportunities. But this is just a example, picking out a chart at random. Let me see if I've got the indicator on this chart. I don't think I have. I do have an indicator though that will alert me. If you're interested, let me know. I'll add it to the recording under resources, so you can just click on it and download it. But again, you could just look for these patterns. Like this is on the euro. This is a New Zealand dollar. If I grab the euro dollar, just random, guys, random. And let's see if there's anything else that hit my criteria. Okay, so again, this is I mean, I said earlier that I look for stuff that hits 25 for binary, but to be honest, the default 20, the default 30 may just be perfect for trading this. So let me just switch this back to default. I'm going to leave it at 8, but I'm going to just change these to 70-30. And let me see. Again, this whole scenario here, yeah, your criteria have got to be met, right? But this is just again me just picking out a trade at random here. Price went below. This is at 8 o'clock in the morning. In fact, the London Open, which is to be trading Forex, that's when you're going to see massive moves in the market. The news release is going to cause the markets to move, stuff like that, right? So again, this could be a strategy. I haven't back tested it enough, but just from seeing just how these moving average works, this could be a really easy approach while you're waiting for binary option signals. If you do see something like this, price goes below your RSI, and in this case, I'm using 20-30 as my entry level. So slightly different. In fact, you could have two binary options, two RSIs on your chart, right? If you don't want to keep messing with one or the other, just add another one to your chart, right? And have that one at the level you want it. Okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to do. I'll call it a wrap. So going to call that, I'm going to leave that one at the 25.75 level. My input is going to be at 8. Boom. And it's pretty much going to be close. Of course, if I was just going with this one, which I'll use for my binary, that may not hit. But for this one, let me just get rid of this one for now. Just hide that one for now. For this one, it hits. So in the morning, where it's really good time to trade, this scenario starts to happen. We get this cross, and there's other things that I like about these two indicators. There's a pattern which is like what we call a double bottom. This is like a W. When that moves and these take place, we've got this gap that opens up. Again, very strong probability of a positive trade here. Again, you can use the same strategy. You know, it would be on my line of resistance right here, guys. If that is that line where it sits, and there will probably be a line down here where this hit, boom. I'm waiting for that to happen, price to open up, and it's going to retrace, and it's going to go up, and it's going to retrace and ultimately go up, and it's just been going up since. We would not be out of this trade all now. This is from what was Monday's day? Yeah, this is from yesterday morning. We will still be in this trade and banking profit all now. Let me see what realistically, if we did take this trade yesterday, how many pips that would roughly do. So it's about 80 odd pips. So maybe you would end up with about 70 pips in profit on this trade, euro dollar. I just because I'm curious now, I want to look at what that New Zealand dollar one would look like. So again, I think I'm going to start trading this for real, with this pattern for real. So with that said, you know, I was saying before about I like the RSI to go below blah 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 and all that kind of stuff, right? So again, I probably wouldn't have been up at this point trading. This is like early o'clock in the morning, so I may have missed the initial, but this ended up being a really good trade. Let me see the other way, the other pattern for sure. I would have been more inclined because it's way over my overbought scenario, and now I'm just waiting. I'm now waiting for this. You know, they say trading is literally a waiting game. Those who don't wait lose money. You know, the longer you can be patient, those are the people that do really well. So guys, I think I've overrun my time. Any questions before I wrap up? Got one more week before we call it a day. But you know, you gotta, with all this type of stuff, it is really a waiting game. You know, you have to just be patient. You know, if that's one thing I can really drill, you know, is this statement. I think this guy here nails it. I have this statement up. Trading is a waiting game. You sit, you wait, you make lots of money all at once. Profit comes in bunches. The trick when going sideways between home runs is not to lose too much in between. So again, when it goes sideways, you know, we're not making any great money. We want trend, and the strategy with the alligator is a trending indicator. So it lets you know when the market's trending and stuff like that. So thanks guys for your time. Let's have the indicators. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll actually post the indicators inside inside the alert indicator inside the Telegram group. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, you're welcome. Definitely just take time, go through the past lessons, just reinforce that. But I do like the alligator a lot, so gonna give props to Anthony for that one. All right, guys, take care. Have a blessed week. We will recommence for the last week's one next week, Wednesday. If you see anything that you want me to look at in between, just let me know, and maybe worth taking that as a trade. All right, guys, take care. God bless.